Good morning, everyone. This is Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa. Welcome to another Thursday morning live. It's not quite 9 o'clock. Look at me. Not only am I not late by a couple of minutes or more, I'm early by a whole minute. So let me take the time while we're waiting for people to log on. Today is Stitch in the Museum today at 10 a.m., 10 to 4. We set up a table in the back, a couple of tables. We have ladies come, they do needlepoint, they quilt, we've had crocheters, we've had quilters, we are knitters. Any kind of hand stitching you want to do, come on over. You could do it with some other gals. Sometimes they go out to lunch, sometimes they grab a cup of coffee, and they all chit chat and talk, and it's a nice time. It gets you out of your house. It's supposed to rain today. Come on, bring your project and do it here instead and sit amongst works of arts. It is free for members. If you're not a member, we just recommend or ask that you do a $5 donation and just come on and sit in for the day. So that's today. It's every second Thursday of the month. So if you can't make it this week or this month, we'll do it again. We do it monthly, second Thursday of the month, Stitch in at the museum. Or just come and sit with the ladies and say hi. Also, what I want to talk about is we still have room for Diane Murtha's online lecture class. There's a 3-part series. It's the first class starts on January 24th, and then there's one on February 21st, I think, and March 21st. 3-part lecture series. You can sign up for one class or all 3. It is discounted if you sign up for all 3. It's $20 a class or $50 for all 3 classes. It's virtual. You sign up when it gets close to the time of the class. I will send you a link, and you just log in at that time, and Diane will give you a little lecture and tips. I wish I could tell you descriptions, but I don't have it in front of me right now. And lastly, this Saturday, tickets go on sale for the Iowa Quilt Festival, airing of the quilts, quilt retreat, and most, if not all, the quilt classes and lectures. We do have a committee meeting today, so hopefully I'll kind of get that all figured out, and tickets will go live on Saturday. So June 2nd, we have a bus tour going to the International Quilt Museum. We'll start here at our museum, go to Lincoln, go to their museum. We'll have lunch. You get a behind the scenes tour, and you get to see their private collection. And then we go to do a little shopping and then come home. So that's on Tuesday, June 2nd. 3rd, 4th, and 5th is classes, lectures, the retreat. Those will all be on sale. And then Saturday's airing of the quilts, tickets, and the Cover Bridge Quilt Show. You can tack that onto a ticket if you want. Those go on sale all on Saturday. So very exciting. Look at me being so grown up and doing my job. So let's talk about Renew, Rebound, Reimagine. Manhattan Quilters Guild reemerged from COVID. That is our exhibit now. There are 19 40 by 40 quilts on display. Doesn't quite fill our exhibit. So in the back, a handful of the quilters in the Quilt Guild sent an extra quilt. So that's what we have right now. And let's talk about this quilt. I'm gonna flip you around and let me introduce you to Elena Aristova. And if Aristova sounds familiar, that's because we did a quilt by a gal. What's her name? Paula? I'm looking at the name. No, it's not Paula. I can't see her name. But her last name is Aristova, and it was the New York quilt with the New York scenes. So I don't know if they're related. I couldn't find that information. But let me tell you about Elena. Elena Aristova has been working with textiles, thread and needle since her childhood, inspired by nature and her surroundings. Elena's goal is to make a structure and balanced piece that would invite the viewer to take a closer look and find unlikely connections. She's been working with, I already did that one. Aristova work is characterized by a quiet dialogue between order and institution. Key aspects of her practice include, and then I don't have that. I don't have what it's include. I kind of left us all hanging there. Sometimes she's confused with Ludmila Aristova, another prominent New York-based fiber artist from the Manhattan Quilt Guild member. for her abstract work and signatures, prairie points. Remember, it had the little points in her, she stitched in her New York scene. Well, let's talk about this quilt. This quilt is called Resilience, dimensions 40 by 40, pieced and quilted by Elena Aristova. Materials and construction techniques used: polyester, crepe de chine, photo collage, and it is hand quilted. So we'll take a closer look at that hand quilting after I read the quilt story. I snapped a photo of begonias growing out of a building wall 3 feet above the ground in South Brooklyn, New York, in September 16th, 2017. Not knowing it was the first of 33 images that would become part of a quilt. Between 2017 and 2023, I took more photos of unusual and resilient living things: an iris blooming at the end of November, various plants emerging out of tiny cracks of asphalts, mushrooms growing in a lemon tree container. I created a photo collage intentionally not altering a single image color and printed the result on fabric. I used various weights and colors of thread for my hand quilting. Some of the quilting lines follow an outline of the design, while the general quilting pattern consists of various interlocked geometric shapes deliberately drawn to enhance the color of images. This quilt combines my fascination with everything beautiful, resilient, and unusual, whether created by nature, man-made, or a combination, using the opportunities modern technology offers to capture and subsequently combine multiple images into one. Okay, this is Resilience. So let's take you off and let's look at that hand quilting. Oop, pop you off there. I love this piece here because she's got this arch right here, and you could really tell this is hand stitching. And I do like it's, what did I say? Just the irregular points, and then it actually comes off here like a burst. But then you also have the geometric interlocking shapes down here. And to think about that being hand quilted is kind of crazy to me, that she was able to be so creative and kind of almost sporadic and a little, in her quilting. Like you have some really dense quilting here in the shadow. You can see her photography. It's a Columbine or a Morning Glory, right? Here's some more of that interlocking quilting. I love this little zigzag here. Sometimes I feel like that interlocking quilting too, that she did, the geometric prints, especially when it's along the brick wall, just kind of gives that feeling of cobblestone or brick. Here's some more dense quilting in here with the rocks. She used pink thread in here with those flowers. Here's an iris. This just coming out of the brick wall. Is that a pansy? Boy, I'm really just guessing here. I like to think I know. I'm a hack gardener. It's thrive or die in my yard, which these are thriving, right? They're in the city, kind of popping up in the middle of nowhere, out of cracks and brick walls and next to telephone posts. But you get an idea for quilting here. This is a quilt truly for the art of quilting, to do something different and and it's all hand done. How fun is that? Oh, look at this little piece here she did. A hexagon and a hexagon and a hexagon. All right, everybody. Again, this is Resilience by Elena Aristova. She snapped a photo of begonias growing out of a building wall 3 feet above the ground in Brooklyn, New York. South Brooklyn, New York. On September 16, 2017, not knowing it was the first of 33 images that would become a part of a quilt. Between 2017 and 2023, she took more photos of unusual and resilient living things: an iris, I know that's an iris, blooming out of the end of November, various plants emerging out of tiny cracks of asphalt, mushrooms growing in a lemon tree container. There's the mushrooms right there. Oh goodness. I created a photo collage, intentionally not altering a single image color, and printed the result on fabric. I used various weights of colors of thread for my hand quilting, which showed some of the pink thread she has here. I'm trying to see where other colors are. It's really the only one. I'll look again. I use various weights and colors thread for my hand quilting. Some of the quilting lines follow an outline or a design, outline of the design, while the general quilting pattern consists of very interlocked geometric shapes. Deliberately drawn to enhance the color of images. This quilt combines my fascination of everything beautiful, resilient, and unusual, whether created by nature or man-made, for a combination, usually using the opportunities modern technology offers to capture and subsequently combine multiple images into one. There we go. Elena Aristova, everybody, Manhattan Quilters Guild. And it's on the wall right here when you first come in, and actually right over there is the other Aristova. And I'm gonna remember her name. Ludmilla is over there. And if you don't know, if you can't tell, that is the story of the Manhattan Quilters Guild, founded in 1980, and it tells their story over there. And then over here, we have the story of the exhibit and the quilt challenge that was posed to the Quilt Guild. Okay, let me get you back on the stand. My arm, I am out of shape, my hand and my arm. Okay, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining this morning. Hope you enjoyed that. Resilience by Elena. And we will see you next week with more quilts from the Manhattan Quilters Guild. Thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. And don't forget about the classes. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you.